So one of the biggest problems with living on a narrowboat and in a caravan and van as well, I would imagine, is, especially in winter, condensation. As we're breathing and we're cooking in a small space, the moisture's going to build up. So I'm going to go through, I've got 3 dehumidifiers, and I'm going to see which works the best. So I've got 3 types of dehumidifier that I'm going to try. The first one is this Unibond. I've never used these before, but there's quite a few people that I know that have used these and said they're really good. So that's the first one. The second one is these ones. These have got little beady granules in the top, and then the water gets trapped in the bottom. And once they fill up, you have to throw the whole thing away. You can't reuse it. You can't just fill the top bit up on these ones. And then the last one is this cheap 240 volt dehumidifier. It is a really cheap one. I think it was about £20 off eBay. But we'll set them all up, set all 3 of them up. We'll put them all around the kitchen area, not right next to each other, but it's not a scientific test. But we'll just see which captures the most in 24 hours. So this is the electric small dehumidifier that we've got. Now it is 9 volts. So we've got it running off the mains, and then there's a transformer to step it down to 9 volts. So you could get an adapter for it and run it off 12 volt system with another transformer stepping it down to 9 volts, but I don't think it's worth it for this. So what the way that this works really simply is there's a little piece of metal there which gets cold. There's a little fan in there that cools it down. Because that metal's cold inside there, as the air comes through here, it condenses on the metal and drips through there. Now, as I said, this is a very, very cheap dehumidifier, and we've had it running before, and I don't really reckon much to it. It doesn't really do anything, but we'll compare it to the other ones and see how we get on. So the next one is these dehumidifiers. You can get them from supermarkets and pound shops and things like that. So there's a little foil on top that you need to take off. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's some beads there that absorb moisture, and then it drops into the bottom, and then it fills the bottom up with water. So that's the second one. And then the third one is this Unibond one. I presume this is the similar sort of thing to the small bead one. It captures the moisture in the air and then drops it into a reservoir underneath. It looks like a pretty simple setup, he says. Should really read the instructions, really, shouldn't I? Right, so that's the base done. And then I presume this fits on top of here. then this block go in there, and it closes, and that's it. So the immediate advantage of this one and this one is you do not need power to run them. So you can put them anywhere you want, and they're not using anything, which on a boat is obviously a very good thing. This one, on the other hand, is going to need to be on constantly. So we'll see how we get on. So the first one is located in the corner of the kitchen, just because that's where the plug socket is. So that's now on. So there is a bit of noise to it, but it's not something that will keep you up. The second one is probably about 1.5 feet away from it, which is the bead one, which is underneath the kitchen window. This area here is, I mean, you can see on the side of the metal there, there's some moisture already. So the third one, the Unibond one, I'm going to put over here. So the Unibond one will go here, and then we've got the bead one, and then we've got the electric one. Morning. So it's not 24 hours since I set all this up with the dehumidifiers. It's a week. I looked at them after 24 hours and not much have happened, to be honest. So I decided to give it a week instead. And I was quite surprised actually of which one has took the most water. So let's have a look which one that was. So we'll start off with this little one. As I said, they've been here for a week. There's one there, and one there. This area is the kitchen area, so this tends to be living space wise quite a humid environment with the kettle and we're cooking food. So this one, there's, I don't even know if you can see that on camera, there's a tiny little bit of moisture in there, not much at all. These do work. We do have them stashed around the boat in various places. And water soaks through the beads at the top and collects in the bottom. But after a week, there's not much there. There's probably a drop, if that. So, not very good. We got those in bulk off eBay. We got all three of these off eBay. And they worked out at 80p each. Now you could probably shop around for all three of these and get them probably cheaper somewhere. But they worked about 80p each, and that was including the postage of the bulk order that I did. So the next one was this Unibond. And that's done quite well. There's quite a bit of moisture in there. There's not a vast amount, but it's obviously doing something, and that's not in the air anymore. So that one worked out at £11 each. I got two of them. Again, that included postage, and you could probably find them cheaper somewhere else. But I paid £11 for that. And then the one that surprised me the most, which I've had for a while, is the electric one. Which you can see from the bottom there. There is absolutely loads of water in there. I was really surprised that that one did as much as it did, because I've had it on and off for a week or so before I started filming this, and I didn't think much of it. Probably because we've got an electric dehumidifier at work, which is an industrial size one, and that really takes water out the environment. It's constantly dripping. So I was maybe comparing that to this, which I shouldn't have done anyway, because this is tiny and it's a really cheapo one. But I had that in the back of my mind. So we paid £19.89 for this, again off eBay. That was including postage, so you could probably get it cheaper somewhere else. The disadvantage with this one is it's electric, so you have to have it plugged in. The advantage of these two are you can just put them somewhere and they're doing the job. We're still going to keep using all three of these. These ones we have stashed in places like wardrobes and cupboards and things like that. We've got one of these at the front of the boat, and we'll probably leave this one in the kitchen. I'll put it in the bedroom because that's another high humidity area. And then the electric one we just have in the kitchen anyway, so we'll keep that where it is and keep that plugged on. But I was really surprised with the electric one. The best way of getting rid of humidity out your boat is by having your multi-fuel stove on. That's the best way that we've found. With caravans and vans and narrow boats, you're always going to have moisture, especially in winter. Just with breathing, cooking, you're always going to have moisture. So you need to get an airflow through to get rid of the moisture, and then things like the dehumidifiers will help as well. But we found putting the multi-fuel stove on, getting a good dry heat, and also as the heat and the fumes are going up the chimney, that's going to draw air from outside into the boat, so it's going to be drier than the humid air that's in the boat. So we found that's the best way. Another thing that we definitely couldn't live without on the boat is this Karcher window vac. These are absolutely fantastic, of just, especially in the mornings, just going around the windows and just getting all the excess water off, so it doesn't sit on the windowsills and start rotting away. And also it takes the moisture out of the air as well. We've got a single glazing in our boat, as with most boats. So when it's cold outside, the moisture is going to condense on those windows and sink to the bottom of the trays, and also on the glass as well. So we found one of these in the morning gets rid of quite a lot of moisture as well. So thanks a lot for watching this quick little video on dehumidifiers. If you've got any comments or questions, or you think that one that you've got is better than the ones that I've shown, or you found another way of getting rid of moisture in the boat, put it in the comments below. If you want to give us a like, give us a like. If you've not already subscribed, please do so. Just click on the little bell icon as well, and it'll notify you of when we release new videos. We're ad hoc releasing videos. We just do them as and when. We're not religiously doing them every week. And thanks a lot for watching.